In this video, we're going to talk about some of the things that have happened to me inside of the funeral home. So I think we're going to call these little mini story times one time in the funeral home. Because after it happens, it becomes a joke, but sometimes. Until then, it's not funny at all. So, I'm going to talk about the first time that something different has happened to me in the funeral home. I can't necessarily say scary because it wasn't. But let's get into story time. So, the first time that I had an experience was the first time that I actually had to go to the funeral home and work alone. So I was on my way to work, and I always thought what it would be like if I had to work in the funeral home alone. And the thoughts that crossed my mind weren't too pleasant, but hey, you have to go with the flow. But anyway, I get a call from my colleague. He's like, I'm running late. I'm not going to make it. You're going to have to go into the funeral home alone. And I'm like, come on. But anyway, there's two instances that happened in this. Well, it wasn't two instances, but let me get on with this story. I went outside. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm here alone. But as I'm pulling up, there's officers on the side of the building. So, that kind of gave me a little sense of comfort because I'm like, at least I'm not alone. It's not like they can save me from any paranormal activity or anything, but, they're there. To serve and protect me from what? I don't know, but anyway, so I'm walking into the funeral home and I'm like, oh my goodness, why? I do not want to be in here alone. I'm not built for this. I'm built for tough, but I'm not built for this. Okay, Chevy. What's the slang for Chevy? I'm more of a Chevy girl. Anyway, so I go inside and I don't remember how to get in, so I had to call. So while I'm calling, my hands are nervously shaking. I'm like, what's the password? So anyway, I get into the room, and this particular time that I'm there alone, there are multiple bodies there. And when I say multiple bodies, they're in a range of ages. So you have adults, children, there was a baby, elderly female. And so that kind of threw me off because I wasn't expecting to walk into the room. I think it was about 7 people that day. I was not expecting that. So thankfully, this day I had to work on someone. She was inside of the chapel already. So I didn't have to be in the room with all of those people. So anyway, I was at the funeral home that I served my mother at. And so I'm walking down the hallway into the door like, Mama, if you have never been with me any other time in life, will you please be with me right now? Because I am terrified. I do not want to be in here alone. So anyway, I'm walking out. I went in the room and I mustered up. Anyway, I went into the room and I got together all my strength to gather all the supplies. And so as I'm walking out the corridor, Mama, please be with me. Protect me like you never covered me before. I need you right now. So I'm going down the hallway, and let me remind you, when I go to work for someone, the funeral home is basically closed down. So the day shift, the daytime staff, they're there during open hours. And when I go in, it's a little bit later, so all the lights are turned off, all the TVs, everything, music, all that. So I'm walking down the foyer and we have these TVs. That was my walk. Have these TVs where they have slideshows of the people that they've served. And as I'm walking down, I noticed that the TV is on. But not only is the TV on, it was a picture of my mom. And I said, out of all the days, this TV is never on. I've been here for years and I have never seen my mother's picture on this slideshow. And out of all the days that I have to be there alone, she's there. And not only was she there on the screen, someone else that I know that had passed away was also on the screen. And I like to joke about my life. I live a life where I can't make this stuff up. I can't make that up. So that was enough. But now that I know when I go to work, I know that they're both always with me, and that is such a sense of comfort. But even if I go to another funeral home, I've gathered enough strength to where I'm able to do it alone. But, that day right there,
needless to say, I was able to accomplish the job, and my colleague finally showed up, so I survived my first time being alone in the funeral home. Well, I hope you like my story. If you do, give me a huge thumbs up. That way I know to post more. And if you're interested in mortuary cosmetology, or you like my channel, you know what to do. All right, until next time, guys. Bye.